All right, let's dive into a single really powerful idea. It's a simple rule for life that might just be the key to unlocking those stubborn patterns you can't seem to shake. You know that feeling, right? It's that weird sense of déjà vu, but not the cool kind. It's that sinking feeling in your gut that tells you, oh no, not this again. You've been here before, facing the exact same type of problem. For a lot of us, it's that same argument. Maybe it's with your partner or your boss or someone in your family. The specific words might be a little different, but the feeling, the root of the problem, it's always exactly the same. Or maybe for you, it's that same missed opportunity, that chance you backed away from because you had doubts, or that project you never started because you were afraid. You know deep down you should have gone for it, but something just holds you back, time and time again. And it all just leads right here, doesn't it? To that same familiar, soul-crushing frustration. You just feel stuck, caught in a loop you can't seem to break out of no matter how hard you try. But what if there's a reason for all of it? Okay, so here's the revelation. What if that loop isn't a life sentence? What if it's actually a lesson? There is a simple rule that completely reframes this entire experience, and once you get it, it's a total game changer. The same lesson will appear again and again until you learn to respond to it in the correct way. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't just some nice quote you'd see on social media. This is basically a diagnostic tool for your entire life. And here's the crucial part. This rule gives you a whole new framework. It transforms those frustrating, repeating challenges from being problems you have to suffer through into opportunities you actually get to learn from. It's a complete 180 on your perspective. So let's break this down, okay? Let's start with the first piece of the puzzle, the lesson. What does that even mean? What is life or the universe or whatever you want to call it trying to teach you? Yeah, this is the big question, isn't it? These lessons, they're not always obvious. They don't come with a handy little syllabus. They're hidden inside those repeating patterns, just waiting for you to spot them. And when you start looking for them, you start seeing them everywhere. You know that recurring argument? Maybe the lesson isn't about winning, but about setting healthy boundaries. That missed opportunity? It could be about learning to value your self-worth enough to take a real risk on yourself. These are the deep currents running right under the surface of our everyday frustrations. And this is the essential mindset shift. The second you see your pattern as a lesson, it stops being a punishment. The universe isn't picking on you, it's actually giving you this custom-made invitation to grow, to level up. It's a genuine opportunity. So, figuring out the lesson, that's the first half. The second half, and honestly the more powerful half, is all about what you do about it. This is where you take back control. This is where you learn to respond instead of just reacting. I mean, just think about the difference for a second. Reacting is automatic. It's our autopilot. It's blaming other people, falling into the same old habits, and feeling like a victim of your circumstances. But responding, that's conscious. It's about taking a breath, taking ownership, and intentionally choosing to do something different. This is the big shift from feeling powerless to feeling empowered. So how do you actually do this in the moment? Here's a super simple 3-step process. First, just pause. The second you feel that familiar frustration bubbling up, just stop. That's your signal. Second, identify. Ask yourself, okay, what's the real lesson here? Is this about my boundaries again? Is this about my self-worth? And finally, step 3, choose. Decide to do just one thing differently. It doesn't have to be massive, just a new, more constructive response. So when you put it all together, the big takeaway here is this incredibly hopeful message that recurring pattern in your life, it's not a prison cell that you're locked in. It's actually a classroom, and it's been designed specifically for you. And we come back to this quote because it puts the power squarely back in your hands. The lesson will show up again. That's a guarantee. But the cycle only continues until you make the conscious decision to change how you respond. At the end of the day, it's not about waiting for the world to change or for other people to finally act differently. The power, the responsibility, and the freedom, it's all yours. You are holding the key. So I'll leave you with this question to think about, because that lesson, your specific personal lesson, it's on its way. It's going to show up again. So the only real question is, armed with this new way of looking at it, how are you going to respond this time?